Ladies and gentlemen, my special guest this evening via the satellites of the internet, Miss Jen Tackett.
Through the magic of unicorns.
It almost really is magic. It's weird.
It is bizarre. It is bizarre.
I talk to people in different time zones and everything. Like we're
Yeah.
not in the same time. Like it's not the same time where we're at, yet we're talking at the exact same time. How does that work? How does any of this work?
I don't
It's
know, but
weird.
I'm thankful for it because Lord of mercy, I don't know what a 2020 would have been like without it.
Yeah. Like I remember the days of, the just having the phone at your house. And yesterday I was listening to some of the music that I have on my phone. And I was like, if you would have told somebody just 20 years ago that one day, not only will you be able to talk on your phone, but you'll also be able to see people, you'll have all the music, thousands, millions of songs if you
Right.
want on your phone. You'll be able to use the internet. There, Steve Russo of the East Kentucky Science Center and
Yeah,
Planetarium, he told me a fun fact. There's more technology in our phones than what was on the space shuttle that landed on the moon.
that's nuts. I
It's
I had
crazy.
like a in a memory. I had like a memory. Somebody had tagged me in this thing. Like it said, shuffle your iPod and do like the first 10 songs, and that's what represent you or whatever. And I had commented, and I'm trying to think, I want to say like 10, 13 years ago, back when Facebook first started, but I commented, I was like, I got to get an iPod so I can play this game. And I was like, Lord of mercy. And then
It's
like
crazy.
that same morning, I was listening to like some rap song like Lil Kim and stuff, and it was like Timbaland 2002. And I was like, that's 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't,
It's weird. Like, I mean, sometimes I look at the calendar and it says 2022. And to me, I mean, that's such a futuristic number.
right.
Like a few weeks ago, I was doing something. I seen the date 2023. And I was like, oh, that's the future. We got forever until then. But then it hit me. I'm like, oh, that's next year.
Next year.
What is going on? It's weird, but it's cool too.
It is good.
Soon we'll be doing these podcasts in the metaverse. That's going to be the next step. Have you been following that whole
What is
metaverse
it?
thing?
I have not. I've seen it, but I'm just like, you know what? My life's weird enough.
Yeah.
I'm I don't want to like know all the extra stuff. Like, no, I'm gonna stay in my weird little lane.
I think that eventually, though, that's what it's going to be. There's already like a lot of companies investing in it. I think Walmart is going to do a metaverse shopping experience where you're like inside Walmart. You're walking through the aisles.
Like you're a Sims person, like doing all the things.
I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be a sim type deal or if it's going to
Like
be
you
like a
like
like
got
a
your
virtual reality type deal.
virtual
Yeah,
reality. Yeah.
where you can just like walk through the aisles and pick up stuff, but you're still in your house or wherever you're at.
I just of course I'm an extrovert, so like I love being around people.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine like not that Walmart's like the
Yeah.
height of my social calendar, but I can't imagine like not being able to like get out of the house. I can't imagine what that would look like and what that would do to mental health and
Exactly.
physical health. I
Yeah.
just like I
I
said,
totally agree. See, I'm an extrovert too. I'm always out around people or
yeah.
just at least somewhere. But it seems like, especially since, 2020 and all that craziness, a lot of people have became introverts and
Oh
live
yeah.
in this social media type realm. So it almost makes sense that this is where it's going to go, at least for some people. Now, I'm still going to be the extrovert, still going out doing stuff, but I'm just saying if Walmart does this, they have to keep it real. Okay, they have to have Sally Sue and Karen there buggy by buggy blocking the aisle so you can't get down there. They have to
Screaming
have that.
baby.
Have to
Screaming
have the
baby.
screaming babies, the people that you graduated with that you're trying to not talk to, those people have to be in there. Walmart, if you're going to do this, you got to keep it real. That's all I'm going to say.
Uh,
I know you have a lot of stuff going on though. I love the song If I Told You.
Thank
That
you.
I've been listening to it almost on a daily basis. And the band, whoever you got to play on that, it's so tight. It's so
It's two
good.
people.
What?
It's Tom. I was gonna record. My producer, engineer, mixer is Tom Nato, and played. Um, he played keys, guitar, bass, and then we brought in Robbie Casenza, and he did drums and percussion, and we did it all in a day.
Whoa. How long did it take to record that?
Let's see. I think it's like 10. I think I got there like 10, so like 10 to 6.
So 8 hours. That's a work day. You knocked it out in a work day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa. Who played the harmonica? That's my favorite part.
Robbie did the harp too. Yeah.
Yeah, that Robbie killed it
That
on that
bridge
harmonica.
I
Oh,
love so much.
the harmonica with I guess it's you doing the oohs
Uh-huh.
in the background. Oh, it's so beautiful. Whenever you have headphones on and you're listening to that, it just sounds so
Oh, thank you.
good.
I'm so glad. Yeah, they are both just first of all just incredible humans, but they're like incredible musicians, and so, I took the song in, I sent it to Tom and he listened to it, and you know, they both just kind of like, okay, well, here we go. And Robbie listens to, like, Robbie hadn't pre-heard the song. He comes in, he listens, he's like, okay, we'll do this. And I'm just like, this is insane to me. Like, it's they're just incredibly talented, and I'm super thankful to be working with them.
What made you go for that, old style outlaw country western style? What made you go that route?
I don't know. People, it's funny. I've had a lot of conversations lately about, and I've listened to some podcasts and stuff about, musicians and artists. And um, I literally, I write, it comes to me the way it comes to me. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it just kind of sounds, I'm not trying to write a certain way. I'm not trying to sound like anybody. It's just, I just kind of do what I do. And, um, that song, I think I started with the chorus, if I told you everything I've been through, and if I told you all the sad songs I knew. I think I started with that and kind of worked my way back. But um, you know, I don't know. And Tom, I trust Tom with kind of his vision, because he's so good. And he was like, all right, what do you think about this? And I was like, yes, yes. I mean, and we're finishing up the second single this weekend,
Ooh,
um, and it's got steel guitar in it, and I'm so excited. Like,
nice.
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's
Is
incredible.
this going to be kind of like the I guess the style of your next project, and almost like an outlaw country western style, or
I
are you
don't know.
just
Does it? You think it sounds outlaw country?
a
I don't
little
know.
bit, at least western? I'll say that, at least
Yeah,
western.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, like I said, I don't really have, because I have a lot of songs that kind of sound a little bit more maybe pop or singer songwriter, alt country kind of sound. So um, I don't know. I kind of write now. Um, I just kind of write what comes to me. I don't
Yeah.
really have a plan. I'm like, because sometimes I'm like, these songs, like, nothing goes together. Like, it's all weird. Like, how do I pick a genre? And it's like, when you sign up, it's like, what's your genre? And I'm like, country, Americana. Who do you sound like? I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's really funny, but I think it's because I have always listened to just a wide range of music. And um, so I think that, when I write like sing it. So when I usually don't sit down and write lyrics and then try to figure out a melody, like, it comes to me in a melody already. And then I'm
Hmm.
praying that I can figure out how to play it on guitar.
I like listening to somebody though where every song sounds different. It kind of gets boring to me if it's just, like a cookie cutter. This song sounds like the rest of the album. It kind of keeps people on their toes. And, I'm like you. I listen to a little bit of everything. So
Yeah.
I enjoy when somebody's kind of bringing that same style. What was the inspiration for this song?
Well, I think the real inspiration, I think, is just being afraid to kind of share your whole truth with people. I think when I think it's And I tell people, my mom is always like, why do you write those? Why are your songs sad? And I'm like, well, because it is easy for me to communicate happiness. It is
Mhm.
hard for me to communicate the hard things, so it's easier
Yeah.
for me to kind of write those things out and sing them than it is for me to tell. And I think, especially if, I'm happy and I cut up and I laugh. So it became really hard for me to be able to share those dark parts with people, and the fact that I was, dealing with depression and eating disorders and stuff. And so um I was always kind of I've always kind of been afraid to kind of share those parts with people. But now I'm doing better about it. But that's kind of where it comes from. It's like, if I told you all these things, are you going to stay, or are you going to be like, no, too much, I'm out?
That is one beautiful thing that I see going on a lot, not just in music, but in all forms of entertainment, is how the talk of mental health is becoming, I
Absolutely.
guess popular would be not the best term, but that's really what it's becoming, is like more people are talking about it. Back
Yeah.
in the day, we all had to wear that mask. We all had to
Right.
pretend like everything was okay. And a lot of bad stuff happened because of that. But
Right.
nowadays, whenever we're not exactly afraid anymore to talk about these things, and it gives people that sense that I'm not alone.
Alone. Yeah.
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 Whenever I listen to these sad songs, that you're talking about, that's what, whenever I was growing up, that was one of the things that really got me into music. Was, I had a little bit of a rough childhood, and I discovered certain artists that sung about the same things that I was going through.
Right.
And at times where I thought that this is only happening to me, it made me
Yeah.
realize, oh, not only is there other people going through the same stuff, but they are also able to get through those things and live a happy, productive, and successful life. It does
Right.
a lot for people.
Yeah. And like I said, so I'm fine, I'm finally, feeling comfortable. It's still like scary, I think, to share that, I deal with anxiety and stuff, but it's also comforting when I have people that, have messaged me and be like, hey, thank you for saying that and putting that out there, because, I'm dealing with those same things too. And so um, I think it's very, very important for people to kind of share their truth. And I'm usually I'm pretty authentic. I mean, when what you see is what you get, and so I was like, I need to make sure that on social media I'm the same way, because
Yeah.
I don't want people like, oh, Jennifer, she's having all the fun, because it's not always fun. It's not always fun. Especially with the pandemic. And um I'm trying to think. Last time I did this, did I still have my broken leg? I'm
I
trying to
think
think.
so,
Yeah, so
actually.
I broke my leg, and it was awful, awfully. I think I endured more mental pain than actual physical pain during that, because, like, just not being able to go anywhere. So if I felt that I'm because when you meet me, you're gonna hear all the crazy, but I was like, I want to make sure that on social media that I'm not just posting the highlights,
Yeah.
so that people know that, even though I'm laughing and cutting up, I deal with the lowlights as well.
But I will say that you took that broken leg like a champ, especially with the Halloween costume. The best Halloween costume that I could remember in the last few years.
I tell you what, I have laughed. I mean, like, and people still talk about it. It's so funny. Like, just the image of it just cracks me up, and the fact that I was, people were like, I'm in a wheelchair, and I'm like, I'm Professor X, but I'm like, the people that were walking past this trick or treating, are like, did they just think I was like an old man? Like, do they know? If you're not a nerd, do you know that I'm, from X-Men?
The nerds like me, we appreciated it.
Speaking of nerds, I've got my one ring to rule them y'all shirt on.
Oh, that's cool. Where'd you get that at?
Kentucky for Kentucky.
They have some cool stuff, don't
Oh
they?
my gosh, yeah. I love this shirt.
Big shout out to them. And also, I love what you're doing with the Stacks and Snacks podcast. One of the
Yay!
best podcast name I've heard in quite a long
Thank
time.
you.
And your and Beck's episode, oh, it was so good. What made you want to jump into the podcast world? Where
Oh
did all
gosh.
that come about?
Well, it's funny. Like I've had an idea. I wanted to do a podcast for a while, and I think like the beginning of 2020, um, I do bullet journaling, and I kind of draw and write out kind of my goals for the year. And one of my goals was to um, start sit at my own table, build my own table,
Mm,
because I felt like I was trying to squeeze into tables and places where, I was like, there's only so long you can like awkwardly hang around,
yeah.
like, hey, I've got these good ideas until, you're like, okay, I can't do it. And so I was like, I'm gonna have to just go out on my own and do some things. And I I'm trying to think, like, just I was dry, and like I said, I've always wanted to do a podcast. Had some ideas. I knew that I wanted to talk to musicians about the music that they grew up with, but I had some other ideas. And then one day I was driving home, and I'm trying to think if I was coming home from Pops or whatever, but I was like, stacks and snacks. Like I want to talk to people about their stacks of records and their snack. Like what's their favorite records and what's their favorite snacks. And I literally, as soon as I got home, I created it. The art for it, I created the art for it. That is actually a picture of me and my little brother sitting on my dresser, eating snacks and listening to records. So I
Nice.
was like, this is going to be the perfect photo. This is going to be the artwork for it. So I created it, and I put a thing on Facebook and was like, all right, who's my friends that collect vinyl records, and kind of put some feelers out and just kind of went with it. Beck was my guinea pig. She was coming to stay at the house anyway, and I was like, all right, you want to do this? So she brought her snacks and brought her records, and we did it in my basement.
I'm so jealous of that Dolly Parton record that she has.
Oh
Oh,
my
that's a
gosh,
good one.
yeah.
So
Yeah, she's
what
got some good ones.
what are some of your favorite snacks?
My favorite snacks, Um, I love Grippos,
Nice.
um, and then beef jerky.
What do you have like a flavor that you like when it comes to the beef jerky?
What I like Meanie Brother. I like Meanie Brothers, which is local here, which is
Yeah.
great. And then like Jack's Lings. Um, but yeah, those are probably my top two snacks.
I love the teriyaki nuggets that Jack Links
Oh yeah, yeah,
has.
yeah, those are
Oh,
good.
those are the bomb. Mine's
Yeah.
probably the Lifesaver gummies. Like that's probably my top
Oh yeah,
snack
those are
right
good.
there.
Those are good. But
So,
I was
oh, go ahead.
but I was like, what a just random, to just find out what snacks people like. I thought it would be something different
Well, I mean, that's kind of what people do. If you're sitting there listening to a record, it's good to have some snacks while you listen to your
to
stacks.
enjoy. Yeah. I mean, that's what me and my brother were doing in that picture. So,
And I got to say, you have an incredible collection whenever it comes to vinyl as well. But just kind of like off the top of your head, what are some of your favorite records that you have?
um, let's see. Oh gosh, there's so many. Probably Parallel Lines by Blondie.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's one of my first memory ever is hearing my dad play Blondie on his stereo system. Um, of course, I love Leonard Skinnard, Second Helping. That's one of my favorites. Um, Don Williams, Greatest Hits. Don Williams is one of my faves.
Love Don.
Bad Company. Trying to think. Traveling Wilburys is one of mine.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I have like a Jackson Brown, Lake of the Sky.
Mm.
I have like all my record. I have way too many records, but I have kind of one that has just like my favorites. There's like a special little holder that I have all them in.
Do you
So that I
mainly
can.
go for original, or are you one of those people that like you'll get a new reissued copy?
It depends on like Traveling Wilburys. Like I wanted it so bad, I got a reissue. I was like, I want this so bad because I had that cassette tape when I was young, and I loved it. I mean, Tweeter and the Monkey Man is the most randomly amazing song ever.
Yeah.
Um, and I was like, I have to have this, so I'm gonna have to get it. So yeah, it depends. You know, I'm not I'm not opposed to it. You know, I'm like it. It's more about if as long as it sounds good and that feeling of you know putting it on the record player and looking at the album artwork. That's what
Yeah.
always you know kind of drew me to it.
I love that it's kind of making this big comeback nowadays
Yeah,
too.
for
Like,
sure.
yeah, if you go to Walmart, there's more vinyl than there are CDs nowadays. That
I
blew my
know.
mind whenever I seen that. And I think that there was a study that came out sometime last year or maybe even this year that vinyl is like the most popular form of music that's like that people are buying right now. It's
Yeah,
outselling CDs, it's outselling every other
yeah.
physical form of music. And I just thought that that was so cool that history is repeating itself, and hopefully that kind of gets the younger generation more into music.
I
Because
hope so.
yeah, whenever you just download a song, it's almost boring because you're just listening to the song. Like you said, you get to sit there and read the album. If it's got some nice artwork, you
The
get to look at
artwork is
that.
what I mean.
Yeah,
I have like just vivid memories. I was obsessed with Rolling Stone's "Some Girls" as a kid. I just thought that was like awesome. Like
yeah.
I remember, you know, I remember just looking at it. I was like, this is art. I love this. I love this.
Yeah, I had it in my hands, the copy that had the celebrities in it that
Oh
they
yeah.
eventually got sued for, and they had
Yes.
to redo it. I had that in my hand, but they wanted a little bit too much money, so it
Oh
broke
man.
my heart.
Maybe
An
another time.
original, maybe another time.
Maybe
So
another
it
time.
made somebody else out there very
Yeah.
happy. Where do
Yeah.
you go to get your records?
Um, a lot of times Pops Resale in Lexington. I love those guys so much. That place is so cool, and the people that work there are so cool and so helpful. Um, they've got records, but they've also got like vintage clothes and you know vintage like band shirts. It's just
That's
the
cool.
coolest place. Sunglasses, like it's just like the coolest place ever. It's kind of like um you know, when you're having a bad day, like I'm gonna go to Pops and just and look around and it's awesome. I love it so much.
Well, speaking about cool people, I know the Mountain Grrl Experience is coming up.
Yay.
I'm so excited about that. There's a lot more going on this year than last year because, of course, it's a little less crazy here in
Right.
2022. So you're going to be a part of that again, right?
I am. I'm so excited. First of all, last year was just like, oh my God, we just had so much fun. I taught a ballad writing class and we had so much fun, like people writing songs outside and just like young and old just being engaged, and we had a blast. And then of course you know after like they did the different workshops outside and stuff, and then that evening we went in and you know I did a solo set and then played with sang with Beck.
Yeah.
um, it was just so much fun, and I'm looking forward to it again. I can't wait. I know this year they're adding more like kind of uh, pre pre uh, pre party type things. I know there's one at going to be at Broken Throne. Beck's album release, which is March 26th, is going to be in Pikeville, and then I'm playing on May 20th at Alley on Main in Paintsville.
That's so awesome. Are you going to be playing with anybody at the Alley on Main?
I I I think that I think Chris, I think Cold Town Dixie is playing that one. I'm not sure if
Nice.
they've, you know, kind of put who else is with there, but I think it's Chris Cold Town Dixie.
Yeah, I seen where Zoe is going to be playing with Beck. That's going to be a great show, and you with Cold Town. That's going to be awesome too.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
They do such an incredible job with that, and of course the reason for it and what it's for and what they help raise money for. It's such a beautiful thing. Chris, she has a heart of gold. She really
She
does.
really does. She's super special. I'm so thankful to know her. I mean, she has a servant's heart, and I look up to her all the time.
So what are you going to be involved with? Are you going to do the ballad writing again, or what are you going to be doing this year?
I don't know if I'm teaching anything. We're still, I've kind of connected Chris with some other people to teach some things. So I know I'll be playing, but I'm not sure yet if I'm going to be offering, because I want to make sure that other people have opportunities to be able to showcase and have fun and teach and stuff, and just bring more people into the event.
Yeah, it's such an incredible thing that they do because that's exactly what it is, an event. It's not just a concert. There's all types of stuff going on. For the people that might not be familiar with what exactly y'all do at this event, what are some of the things that you done last year?
So last year, like, during the day, there was a dulcimer workshop outside. Abby the spoon lady came and brought spoons, and people were playing spoons. I did ballad writing. Kind of did like a sign up open mic. Um, there were vendors there. My friend Sarah, who owns a place called Gypsy Wings, she was there and was helping make like feathers and flower headbands for the kids. My whole family went down and stayed and like made a whole weekend of it. So like all day long, just stuff like that, um, and all raising awareness for people that have suffered from domestic women who suffered from domestic abuse. And so so that was all kind of during the day. And then, so it was very interactive. So like during the day, like you're learning and you're hearing these stories, um, and learning all these kind of cool things. Abby the Spoon Lady she was incredible. Her story was, you know, very moving. And then that evening we moved inside and had a concert, and it was just it was just a bunch of them, just a bunch of amazing women. I still am like, I can't believe I got to be a part of part of it, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I encourage everybody to come out to that because it's not just it's for the ladies, but it's not just for the ladies.
Yeah,
Literally anybody can come out and have a good time.
and um, I have this cute video of like during when Cold Town Dixie is playing. Reed, my son, and my niece and nephew are just like getting it. Reed is first time probably anybody's ever flossed to Cold Town Dixie, but it was happening. So it's kid friendly, um, and it was important for me, for my niece to see all these amazing, strong, powerful women, not only sharing their talent and their passion, but also to help uplift other women. So it's really cool. It was a good event.
I think that 2022 is going to be a great year, and I'm really looking forward to everything that you have going on. And for the people that want to keep up with Gen Tech and everything that you're going to have going on in 2022, how do they do that?
You can find me on Facebook. Just look for an Instagram. Look for the Red Boots, Jen Tackett Music, and yeah, and on YouTube as well. And I'm on like I said, the new song is on iTunes and Amazon and Spotify.
Well, Jen, thank you so much for your
Thank you
time
for
today,
having me.
and looking forward to seeing you at Alley on Main and also the Mountain Grrl Experience.
Yeah, I'll see you then for sure.
See you next week, folks.
All right, thank you.
Boom. There we go.
We did it.
Yeah, we finally did it.